Hey, my name is Laura Ferry, and welcome to the My Inner Struggle podcast. I'm so glad that you're here. I am going completely off the cuff tonight. I have been insanely busy for the last month or so, and I'm pretty sure I just hired my third employee today. So, yay, that's really exciting. I love empowering other women, and I don't know that I would have said that 10 years ago, as odd as that sounds. Um, Women definitely have this sort of competition going, and especially moms and how we support each other. And when you really just let your guard down and you let go and you don't really care, and I'd rather fill someone else's cup than be in competition with them, it feels so fucking good. We're not competing against each other. We're part of a team, and it makes for a much better experience when you don't let your insecurities get in the way of building a beautiful relationship and having support around you. That's part of what the Self Love Club is about, too. I know I keep talking about it, but it's really cool. Just having an online space that you can go to anytime you need, daily journal prompts. We do a weekly coaching call every Monday night. So I'm on there and we kind of go through a topic each week. We've been introducing some books. So we did our first book in the month of, I guess, October. And we read The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. And that was something that I started, I think, in late August. I had listened to a podcast, one of my favorite podcasts, the Rachel Hollis podcast. And she had Hal on her podcast. And I was listening to Hal and what he was talking about his Miracle Morning and all of that. And I just dove in. I started manifesting this morning that wasn't going to make me feel like shit, and where I could feel that I spent some time on myself. And I know a lot of people might like get up and you dive into your phone, or you get up and you dive into work. And I definitely fell into that for a really long time. But once I started putting this sort of practice into place a few months ago, everything changed. And I'm probably not even as consistent with it as I really, really should be. I'm not doing it on the weekends at all. And if there are some days where, something happens, I can't necessarily get to it then, and I try to accomplish some of the tasks later in the day. But the whole concept, and again, it's called Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. I encourage you to listen or read. You can actually find it. I have a link to it on my website on myinnerstruggle.com. But going through all of these steps, Hal had a really bad time, definitely fell onto some big struggles, and sort of created this acronym so that he could encompass all of these good things that we need to be doing for ourselves in a short amount of time in the morning. And so when you're consistent, and we all know consistency is the key to getting anything, really, being consistent about it, reaching those goals, I mean. Um, so when you are getting up, and it's called savers. So you're doing silence, so meditation, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing or writing, journaling. And it's really like a beautiful practice. And it's not like that sounds like this sounds crazy. I think I just blogged about it actually too. If you had told me, I don't know, a year ago, even, that I'd be getting up and doing these things religiously, I probably wouldn't have believed you. Or maybe I would have. I'm not sure. But I don't know that I ever envisioned myself doing that. And now I'm keep building on this vision. So once we establish all these good habits, right? Because that's what you're developing as the habit. It doesn't matter how long you exercise. It could be for 5 minutes. It could be for 1 minute. You could do 50, sit-ups or whatever it is. It's developing the habit, and then you can build on to that and add more time. So I started walking on the treadmill for like a few minutes. Nothing crazy, because I wanted to get all of those things accomplished, and I wanted to see how long it would take me or what my cadence was going to be. So then once you start building on those habits, you can then do what they call habit stacking. So if you're walking through and you're going, oh, okay, I'm going to do my affirmations. after I take my vitamins, or you insert these things. And keeping yourself organized is key. And I've said it over and over and over again. You have to plan. You have to plan. You have to set yourself up and your day for success. Otherwise, it's not going to be a success. Very rarely does it happen on accident. So, one of my things is I'll get up. I usually do my visualization immediately, and then so it's not in the exact same order. And then I'll come downstairs and I turn on like the coffee as soon as I get up. I do my visualization, and then I might do some meditation followed after that. Then once my coffee's ready, I'll sit down and I read, and then I'll do my journaling, and then like exercise in there somewhere, depending on what I'm doing. I might exercise after the bus comes, and then and then I've completed my miracle morning. But I have this purpose now to get up in the morning, and I actually literally do. When I was listening to the audiobook while I was on the treadmill trying to start the steps before I had even gotten a quarter of the way through on the book because I jumped ahead. um I just started out small and then just started building on it. And Hal would talk about how he started like looking forward to it, because I know I'm not going to affirm it, but I have said it in the past that I'm not a morning person. But I did do that for a really long time. I would get up early in the morning and I would go to the gym and exercise. And it wasn't until really that I got divorced that that changed. So having this new like routine that isn't quite as hardcore as getting up and going to CrossFit feels really good. And it's like in the space that I'm in now. So that definitely feels good. And I just feel so much happier in the morning and more awake and ready to start my day. There's nothing worse than like getting up after the kids, you're already late, trying to make breakfast or get them something to eat, make sure they have their lunch, and you're sitting in your pajamas, your hair's all over the place, and you still have to show up at the bus stop. It feels fucking shitty. I don't like going like that. This morning, I actually did go down my pajamas because I needed to shower after the bus. So I put on I put on a coat, but I didn't feel good. But then I came home and finished out my morning. But regardless of that, planning is the key, as well as consistency, I should say. So I think I just hired my third employee, and being a woman and a woman business owner has been kind of fucking cool. I love empowering other women, and I love holding the mirror up so they can see themselves and just showing them how capable they are of everything that they're doing. I happen to be employing 3 women, and 2 of them, are at the beginning of their career. And how cool is that? And I think about these women that I've had in my life that have empowered me, and there aren't a ton. It's not a long list. I've predominantly worked in a male dominant industry just about my whole career until I started my own business. And so there weren't a lot of like women mentors. And I was always looking for a mentor for years. I would say I'm looking for, someone, because I worked in operations and finance for many years before that, and accounting and all of that kind of stuff. And I was always looking for a mentor. And I did have some male mentors, but it just wasn't exactly the same. And so I think finally kind of created this circle. And it's really cool. And I'm very excited. And I'm so grateful to have these women kind of show me the way and just be there as a touching stone if I need them. And I'm learning so much about myself. On that note, I want you to know that everything is possible. Everything that you're dreaming about, that you're thinking about, all of it, everything is possible. And I've known some women, people just in general, actually, that fall victim to being in that victim role. And I did too. I absolutely did. And what's interesting is kind of going through the last, I would say, 6 months um, of my life and all the different changes that have been happening and the different points that you get to, whether it be, building a business, whether it be financially, or needing more help or whatever. And just really remembering I was always in that support role. I was always supporting that business owner. And so remembering putting myself back in that seat and knowing, okay, this is that critical point. This is when I really need to change what I'm doing and get out of my own fucking way and hire some help and just let go and really just trust the universe that it's got my back and that everything is going to work itself out, because life has this funny way of always working itself out. And a year ago, I don't think I fully believed that. I was in a very, very dark space. I didn't know what to do, and I knew that I only had myself to rely on. And I hate it when people say that no one's going to do it for you, but you really only have yourself to rely on, only because it's it's all about you. That doesn't mean that people aren't going to help you or listen, but you really have to take charge yourself, stand up, get it fucking done. And that's when I talk about, so my oldest is at college, and we'll talk about the amount of things that she has on her plate, all these, different tests or quizzes or tutoring, and she's trying to find a job and like all of these things. And so she had said she's taking psychology, which I love, by the way. And she had said, like, I have all this stuff and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to prioritize it. And they said, like, you should like write it all down, get it all out on paper. So I was like, yes, do a brain dump. That's awesome. So I've been doing my own as well, because I'm getting very overwhelmed with my home tasks. That is the biggest stressor of my life, because I'm busy doing all of the things and I don't have time to stop. And it feels like there's always, I gotta catch a fucking mouse in the kitchen or my headlight is out. There's very rarely, and you're probably going to think about your own life and say the same thing. There's very rarely a time where I go 24 hours where something doesn't happen. I need to address something or pivot. And if you're saying no, that nothing happens, then clearly I'm doing something wrong. I'm kidding. But I don't mean like catastrophe things, just like, crap, we dropped the dog food on the floor, or, like whatever. It's just some sort of thing that you have to step outside your box, figure it out, and then move forward, get it done and move forward. And that takes away from like the other stuff. So I found myself recently, um, I'm very excited, but then also sort of in a place of resentment, a teensy bit. And I had to step back and figure out where it was coming from. And it's really because I need help. And so working through that process, really digging in why. And I'm like, I feel this way right now. Why do I feel this way right now? And because I wasn't really getting any time for myself. Now, I do take time for myself, but there's so many things going on that I really needed to hand off some things. Um, so I was really grateful that I was able to find some amazing ladies to join my team and help me grow this business. So I'm really excited about that. But I worked through it. I didn't act out. I didn't get crabby, and I'm having the time of my fucking life right now. But it's it's busy. It's busy, that's for sure. So this is my brain dump, actually. There's a ton of things. These are only house things, I'm pretty sure. No, that's not true. There are a few work things on here. But that is my brain dump. And I did that on Saturday. And that was supposed to be kind of like whatever I can get done this weekend. And I went through and sort of prioritized some over the other, but whatever I can get done this weekend, great. And then the rest I'm going to have to divide out among the week or weeks in that case. So I actually I cleared off like two things today. So that's cool. But anyway, I'm going to keep this short because time is of the essence. And I think that if you've been thinking about doing something big and making a change, I think now is the perfect time. It's hard. It's hard, but it's so worth it. So whatever it is, getting a new job, going back to school, buying a house, starting a business, Like, I want to hear about it. Send me a message. Send me a message on social, or send me an email. I want to hear about it. I think I love to know people's stories, and I love connecting with other like-minded women who want to think and do better. And speaking of, I'll do a little commercial for the Self-Love Club. Um, Check out the Self-Love Club. Go to myinnerstruggle.com/self-love club, or click on the button up top. I have created a platform basically that women can join together for community and connection, to help cultivate a life that they love. So, whether it's you need help loving yourself more, or figuring out where that self compassion is hiding, or if you just need to give yourself a little something, purpose, and finding some like minded women to help keep you accountable. We are so many things to each other in this group. We are accountability buddies. We are learning from each other. We are growing from each other. We have a live call every Monday night at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And that is where the value lies, right there. Come, join the call, chat, go through the lessons with me, and discover some things about yourselves. And then you go back and you do the work yourself. There's daily journal prompts, and lots of different discussion and ideas, and accountability is really where it's at. So definitely check that out. Check out the blog at myinnerstruggle.com. Subscribe to the newsletter while you're there. I send out a newsletter twice a week, once on Sunday to get you started for your week, and again on Wednesday to keep you going through your week. Make sure wherever you're listening or watching the podcast, you hit subscribe, and please share it with a friend. I thank you so, so, so very much for listening and giving me feedback, and just enjoying your well wishes and words. I am thinking of you and sending you so much love, and I will see you soon.